If you want to learn something about God, shut your mouth and listen to me for a minute.
Many children healed. We've seen midgets grow. We've seen arms and legs that stop growing because the growth cells had stopped. Mandadabasata. I don't make this stuff up.
Behold, the atheist's nightmare.
That's the power of the Holy Ghost.
Why do they teach every other theory in science except creation?
Warlocks are enemies of God.
No one's ever going to convince me that the Word of God is not true.
You know, if you put Jesus Christ first, that he'll look after all your bills.
And so the devil said, okay, it's a deal.
And if you want to tell me how to live my life, it better line up with the Word of God or shut your mouth.
I'm loaded. I'm pregnant with miracles.
What do you believe?
Send us the cash.
Welcome to Season 3 of the Bible Dumb Podcast.
Woo!
I am your host, Davey Hell.
And I'm Jessie Hell.
And this is the podcast where two atheists read the Bible from Genesis to Revelation. I am so happy to be on to a brand new book of the Bible.
Okay.
One that is not Exodus.
Oh, yeah. Scale 0 to 10.
0 to 10.
Where would you have put Genesis?
I mean, I kind of liked some parts of Genesis. Comparatively.
Mm-hmm. Okay, all the plagues and all that stuff, was that in Genesis or was that
in
Exodus?
That
was Exodus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exodus started off pretty good and then went downhill real quick.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm ranking. If we're ranking here, God, I don't know. They both are pretty fucking bad.
Yeah.
In places.
Like,
Exodus
Bible
had to be
rank.
worse.
For sure.
Exodus is like least favorite.
On Bible ranking,
Bible ranking.
I would give Genesis a 3
Okay.
and Exodus a 2.
Yeah, I'd give
so far.
The only thing making Exodus not a 1 is the beginning part.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where
Everything
Moses first showed up.
Well, even the plagues were annoying.
Oh, yeah, the plagues were kind of funny. That was kind of fun to read.
It was kind of annoying, though, because he kept doing the same thing, and Moses wasn't using the things that he learned.
Yeah, but compared to the tabernacle, I mean, it's like riveting.
Okay, there are 3 books of Moses?
4.
Oh, jeez.
Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, and Deuteronomy.
I hope it doesn't keep getting worse.
No,
it just occurred to me.
No guarantees. I mean, I hate to say it, but surely we cannot get another chapter that's all just description of curtains. Like,
I don't know.
There's no way. So
No.
what do you know? Okay, let's do some more. Let's get back to our Bible dumb. The subject of this podcast, that you are Bible dumb.
Yeah.
So what do you know about Leviticus?
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing. You never heard about it?
I've
Never
heard the
what's
name.
in it?
I've heard Leviticus.
What
but
in reference to?
just people talking. But I have absolutely when people have been like, Leviticus, I have absolutely no idea, other than it being like a title in the book.
Okay, so I'm guessing Levi was one of the 12 tribes of Israel, right?
Yes.
I think Moses was descended of Levi.
Oh, really?
Yeah, making him a Levite. So, sorry, I'm just trying to go through the etymology of the word Leviticus. Like, does this mean like a book about the Levites? Is that what that means?
What is Levitian? What is that?
Leviathan?
What is that?
Leviathan's like a whale. Or
Is that a
monster.
Bible reference?
Yes.
Okay. Does that have to do with this?
No.
Okay. Good thoughts. Good thoughts. I don't know.
So yeah, I think Leviticus might have something to do with the Levites.
Okay.
I don't know if that's for true or not. And then the only other thing I know about Leviticus is usually when, like, who's that asshole preacher? Phelps.
Yeah.
What's his name? Fred Phelps? Whatever, like, piece of shit Christian fundamentalist
It's not
assholes.
Fred.
It's not?
I don't think so.
Whatever, the Phelps people who go and they go to, like, gay people's funerals and they yell going to hell and they do all that horrible stuff.
Yeah.
I think that when they quote the Bible and why the Bible says being gay is bad is from Leviticus.
No. That's what we're going to?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like the only thing I know about it.
Okay.
And now saying it aloud, I'm not sure if that's even right. But I think so. I think they say Leviticus is where all those rules come from.
Moses is getting worse.
Yeah. Afraid so.
I think he's going to be a bad guy.
It's a bad guy. Well, let's see. Leviticus chapter 1. And the Lord called unto Moses, and spake unto him out of the tabernacle of the congregation, saying,
Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, If any man of you bring an offering unto the Lord, ye shall bring your offering of the cattle, even of the herd, and of the flock. If his offering be a burnt sacrifice of the herd, let him offer a male without blemish. He shall offer it of his own voluntary will at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation before the Lord. And he shall put his hand upon the head of the burnt offering, and he shall be accepted for him to make atonement for him. And he shall kill the bullock before the Lord, and the priests, Aaron's sons, shall bring the blood, and sprinkle the blood round about upon the altar that is by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And he shall flay the burnt offering, and cut it into his pieces. And the sons of Aaron the priest shall put fire upon the altar, and lay the wood in order upon the fire. And the priests, Aaron's sons, shall lay the parts, the head, and the fat, in order upon the wood that is on the fire which is upon the altar. But his inwards and his legs shall he wash in water, and the priests shall burn all on the altar to be a burnt sacrifice, an offering made by fire of a sweet savor unto the Lord.
Again, let me say that, like, this doesn't sound very godly. Just like killing shit and spreading its guts and blood everywhere.
No.
Like, this sounds like how they characterize satanic rituals or pagans, like when they talk about,
how they they think of like the Mayan temple type.
Yeah, when they try to demonize other cultures and stuff like that. Like ripping apart animals and burning them and like putting their blood and inwards everywhere. I mean, it's gross. Stupid.
Yeah.
And if his offering be of the flocks, namely of the sheep or of the goats, for a burnt sacrifice, he shall bring it a male without blemish, and he shall kindle it on the side of the altar northward before the Lord. And the priests, Aaron's sons, shall sprinkle his blood round about upon the altar. And he shall cut it into pieces with his head and his fat, and the priest shall lay them in order on the wood that is of the fire which is upon the altar. And he shall wash the inwards and the legs with water, and the priest shall bring it all and burn it upon the altar. It is a burnt sacrifice, an offering made by fire of a sweet savor unto the Lord. And if the burnt sacrifice for his offering to the Lord be of fowls, then he shall bring of his offering of turtle doves, or of young pigeons. And the priest shall bring it unto the altar, and wring off his head, and burn it on the altar, and the blood thereof shall be wrung out at the side of the altar. and he shall pluck away his crop with his feathers, and cast it beside the altar on the east part, by the place of the ashes. And he shall cleave it with the wings thereof, but shall not divide it asunder. And the priest shall burn it upon the altar, upon the wood that is upon the fire. It is a burnt sacrifice, an offering made by fire of a sweet savor unto the Lord. And the priest shall burn the memorial of it, part of the beaten corn thereof, and part of the oil thereof, with all the frankincense thereof. It is an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
What a weird opening to this book.
It was intense.
Like, this doesn't seem like a new book of the Bible. Like, it just seems like more like a direct continuation of the last.
Yeah, it's more intense.
Like,
for
there's
sure.
a big jump between Genesis and Exodus. This just seems like him just like keeping on.
It's more intense. I mean, we went from measuring curtains to
Yeah, but they did
spreading
this shit
blood.
too. They went through this too. Like in the tabernacle, they had a whole ritual. Remember, they had to dip their right thumb into the blood and then their right toe into the blood.
Yeah.
And sprinkle the blood everywhere and put its legs in its eye holes. Like, it was like weird.
Yeah. I don't know. This is
Like, why would anyone do this? Like, why is this a thing in religions where you just like slaughter an animal for no reason and put it? Like, I don't even understand the psychology behind it. Like, it just sounds evil to me. Like, just taking an innocent creature and just cleaving it up for no reason.
Sure, but does it have to do with that is one of your most valuable resources? So you're willing to sacrifice one because for whatever reason you think God will then give you more if you give him one? I don't know.
That's some like really dumb
Yeah, I agree.
justification for doing evil. I don't understand the. I mean, I guess you're right. I guess that's what it is. Is like it's a sacrifice. It's giving up something for something else.
It's the same. Yeah, it's the same as giving your money every Sunday. You know, even families that are starving, a lot of times they'll give up their money for the collection plate.
I guess
when they have no money to give, in hopes that God will return the favor
tenfold
down the line, you know?
That's stupid. I hate it. I don't like it.
I agree.
Chapter 2. And when any will offer a meat offering unto the Lord, his offering shall be of fine flour, and he shall pour oil upon it, and put frankincense thereon.
What is frankincense?
I guess it's just a spice. He's basically like saying like to fry his food for him. It's like bread it, put it in the oil, put spices on it. Like God only wants KFC. Like don't just fucking give me any like broiled chicken. Like fried only.
That's what frankincense is. It's the mystery KFC spice.
Yeah. Mysteries blend. And he shall bring it to Aaron's sons the priests, and he shall take thereout his handful of the flour thereof, and of the oil thereof, with all the frankincense thereof. And the priest shall burn the memorial of it upon the altar, to be an offering made by fire, of a sweet savor unto the Lord. And the remnant of the meat offering shall be Aaron's, and his sons. It is a thing most holy of the offerings of the Lord made by fire. And if thou bring an oblation of a meat offering baked in the oven, it shall be of unleavened cakes of fine flour mingled with oil, or unleavened wafers anointed with oil. All of Aaron's most favorite foods for the Lord. And if there's any leftovers, it shall be Aaron's and Aaron's sons to eat upon.
Are you making this up?
Yeah. Yeah, that's all made up.
Okay. But I was like, there is no way. There's no way.
But that's what's happening.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, it did say, like, that, like, if there were leftovers, then Aaron's sons could eat it.
Oh, God. They're like, dibs.
Yeah. Yeah, they're calling dibs for sure. And if thy oblation be a meat offering baked in a pan, it shall be of fine flour unleavened mingled with oil. Thou shalt part it in pieces and pour oil thereon. It is a meat offering. And if thy oblation be a meat offering baked in the frying pan, it shall be made of fine flour with oil. It's just saying the same thing again.
Yeah.
And thou shalt bring the meat offering that is made of these things unto the Lord, and when it is presented unto the priest, he shall bring it unto the altar. And the priest shall take from the meat offering a memorial thereof, and shall burn it upon the altar. It is an offering made by fire, of a sweet savor unto the Lord. Yes, you had a long sigh.
You've said these exact words multiple times
in a row. Sometimes I feel like our listeners think like I'm like having like a mental break and just like
or they probably think like they've like
or that I've like
skipped ahead or revert or like edit error or
it's no edit error. I didn't like lose my place and read the same thing over again. Like this is just written over and over and over.
Oh my gosh.
And that which is left of the meat offering shall be Aaron's and his sons. It is a thing most holy of the offerings of the Lord made by fire. No meat offering which ye shall bring unto the Lord shall be made with leaven, for ye shall burn no leaven, nor any honey, nor any offering of the Lord made by fire. As for the oblation of the first fruits, ye shall offer them unto the Lord, but they shall not be burnt on the altar for a sweet savor. And every oblation of thy meat offering shalt thou season with salt. Don't burn the fruit, just cook the meat.
And just salt?
We'll salt the meat. Neither shalt thou suffer the salt of the covenant of thy God to be lacking from thy meat offering. With all thine offerings thou shalt offer salt. And if thou offer a meat offering of thy first fruits unto the Lord, thou shalt offer for the meat offering of thy first fruits green ears of corn dried by the fire, even corn beaten out of full ears. And thou shalt put oil upon it, and lay frankincense thereon. It is a meat offering. All right, chapter 2 in the books.
Davey. Hey, Davey.
Yes.
Is it a meat offering?
It is a meat offering, yes.
I picked that up.
I get my name right.
How many times did you say that? At least 4.
Yeah.
It is a meat offering.
It is a meat offering.
Is this why Christians get so upset with vegans?
I don't know why Christians get upset with vegans. Speaking of which, man, there is an awesome looking movie coming out. I cannot wait to see it. It's called Christspiracy. It's made by the same people that did Cowspiracy and Seaspiracy and What the Health. So it's just like, I don't know, the ads they did for it are really good. They make it look really, really, I don't know, interesting. They say they went through a bunch of ancient Hebrew, what do you call them? Linguists, and like re-evaluated like what it said about the Bible and what Jesus said about the treatment of animals, and they discovered like some big cover-up, and like I don't know because I haven't seen it yet, it hasn't come out yet, but basically what it seems like is that they discovered that Jesus said not to eat animals, because like throughout the whole trailer they're like asking different religious leaders, not just of Christianity but of like Buddhism and other things, like, is there a holy way to kill an animal? Like, is there a spiritual way? How would Jesus kill an animal? Like, stuff like that. So it's very interesting. Looks really cool. I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah.
I want to see what they have to say.
I feel like with the way this Bible's going, though, you could manipulate anything to say anything you wanted.
True.
And I don't think any of it's true.
Well, no, of course not. But people take what this Jesus guy says very seriously.
Yeah, hey, if it could convince a few people, sure.
Yeah. This part is not convincing anyone to be vegan.
No.
Like dip it in breading and oil it and salt it. Don't forget the salt. It's got to taste super yummy for Aaron and his sons. Maybe a side of fruit and some corn. All right. Chapter 3. And if his oblation be a sacrifice of peace offering, if he offer it of the herd, whether it be male or female, he shall offer it without blemish before the Lord. And he shall lay his hand upon the hand of his offering, and kill it at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And Aaron's sons, the priests, shall sprinkle the blood upon the altar round about. And he shall offer of the sacrifice of the peace offering an offering made by fire unto the Lord, the fat that covereth the inwards, and all the fat that is upon the inwards, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is on them, which is by the flanks, and the caul above the liver, with the kidneys, it shall he take away. And Aaron's sons shall burn it on the altar upon the burnt sacrifice which is upon the wood that is on the fire, that is an offering made by fire of a sweet savour unto the Lord. And if his offering for a sacrifice of peace offering unto the Lord be of the flock, male or female, he shall offer it without blemish. If he offer a lamb for his offering, then shall he offer it before the Lord. And he shall lay his hand upon the head of his offering, and kill it before the tabernacle of the congregation. And Aaron's sons shall sprinkle the blood thereof round about upon the altar. And he shall offer of the sacrifice of the peace offering an offering made by fire unto the Lord, the fat thereof, and the whole rump, it shall he take off hard by the backbone, and the fat that covereth the inwards, and all the fat that is upon the inwards, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, which is by the flanks, and the caul above the liver. With the kidneys it shall he take away. And the priest shall burn it upon the altar. It is the food of the offering made by fire unto the Lord. And if his offering be a goat, then he shall offer it before the Lord. And he shall lay his hand upon the head of it, and kill it before the tabernacle of the congregation. And the sons of Aaron shall sprinkle the blood thereof upon the altar round about. It's just going through every animal.
They are covered in blood.
Yeah. And he shall offer thereof his offering, even an offering made by fire unto the Lord, the fat that covereth the inwards, and all the fat that is upon the inwards, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, which is by the flanks, and the caul above the liver, with the kidneys, it shall he take away. And the priest shall burn them upon the altar. It is the food of the offering made by fire for a sweet savour. All the fat is the Lord's. It shall be a perpetual statute for all your generations throughout all your dwellings, that ye eat neither fat nor blood.
Oh, so you're not supposed to eat the fat or the blood.
Yeah.
Okay.
You nor any of your generations may eat fat or blood.
Okay.
You think they still do that?
No.
I guess not.
Definitely not. No.
All right.
No, when you get like steak, it's got all kinds of fat in it. You could trim it out, but there's no way you're getting all of it out.
Do Jewish people eat steak fat?
I mean, there's no way to avoid it.
I guess.
Is this why they have the whole kosher thing where they like
Oh yeah.
bleed the animal?
Maybe. I mean, I know that kosher is like the rules of what you can eat, but that's about all I know about it.
All I know is that it's like made in a certain way, right?
I don't know.
I don't know what makes something kosher.
Maybe we're about to get into it. Chapter 4. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying,
Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, If a soul shall sin through ignorance against any of the commandments of the Lord, concerning things which ought not to be done, and shall do against any of them, if the priest that is anointed do sin according to the sin of the people, then let him bring for his sin which he hath sinned a young bullock without blemish unto the Lord for a sin offering. And he shall bring the bullock unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation before the Lord, and shall lay his hand upon the bullock's head, and kill the bullock before the Lord. And the priest that is anointed shall take of the bullock's blood, and spread it to the tabernacle of the congregation. Then the priest shall dip his finger in the blood, and sprinkle the blood 7 times before the Lord, before the veil of the sanctuary.
Yeah, so this sounds like more toxic shit, where it's just like, if you do something you're ashamed of, just kill something. Sacrifice something for your sins.
Oh, this is the thing where they, like, kill the chicken.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, this saying, like, if you commit a sin, if you break a commandment, then go make a sacrifice. If a priest does a sin according to the sin of the people, then let him bring for his sin, which he hath sinned, a young bullock.
What's a
sacrifice
bullock?
that. I'm guessing just a bull, like a male calf.
You know, there's that, like, very, like, hardcore Jewish, I don't know.
Orthodox.
Orthodox
There
Jewish.
you go, hardcore.
The Orthodox Jewish people where they, like, will take the chickens and they, like, line up in lines and get the chicken slaughtered.
Yeah. It's horrible.
Yeah.
I hate it. I don't think... Yeah, I've seen it on Instagram before. Where they're just, like, killing thousands of chickens for
their sins.
Basically to absolve them of their wrongdoing in some magical ritual. Yeah. Don't like it. Seems like a pretty easy way out for you. Not for the chicken.
Yeah, like, take responsibility.
Yeah.
And the priest shall put some of the blood upon the horns of the altar of sweet incense before the Lord, which is in the tabernacle of the congregation, and shall pour all the blood of the bullock at the bottom of the altar of the burnt offering, which is at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And he shall take off from it all the fat of the bullock for the sin offering, the fat that covereth the inwards, and all the fat that is upon the inwards, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, which is by the flanks, and the caul above the liver with the kidneys, it shall take away. As it was taken off from the bullock of the sacrifice of peace offerings, and the priest shall burn them upon the altar of the burnt offering. And the skin of the bullock, and all his flesh, and his head with his legs, and his inwards, and his dung.
And don't forget his dung.
Even the whole bullock shall he carry forth without the camp unto a clean place where the ashes are poured out, and burn him on the wood with fire. Where the ashes are poured out shall he be burnt. And if the whole congregation of Israel sin through ignorance, and the thing be hid from the eyes of the assembly, and they have done somewhat against any of the commandments of the Lord, concerning things which should not be done, and are guilty, when the sin shall they have sinned against it is known, then the congregation shall offer a young bullock for the sin, and bring him before the tabernacle of the congregation. And the elders of the congregation shall lay their hands upon the head of the bullock before the Lord, and the bullock shall be killed before the Lord. And the priest that is anointed shall bring of the bullock's blood to the tabernacle of the congregation. And the priest shall dip his finger in some of the blood, and sprinkle it 7 times before the Lord, even before the veil. And he shall put some of the blood upon the horns of the altar which is before the Lord, that is, in the tabernacle of the congregation, and shall pour out all the blood at the bottom of the altar of the burnt offering, which is at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And he shall take all his fat from him, and burn it upon the altar. And he shall do with the bullock as he did with the bullock for a sin offering. So shall he do with this. And the priest shall make an atonement for them, and it shall be forgiven them.
So yeah, I'm just like picturing like in Indiana Jones #2 when they go to like the weird like Aztec, or was it Indian? Maybe it was in India. And like the guy's like ripping hearts out of people's chests and like sprinkling blood everywhere, and it's like this like huge ritualistic like nasty orgy of gore.
Yeah.
A nasty orgy of gore. That's the title of this episode.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I mean that's pretty much what's happening here. Is they're just like rolling around in the blood.
It's a lot of blood.
I mean, it's so gross. Like, I just don't understand. Like, how many times during this podcast can we say that they just skip over the parts they don't like? But, like, I mean, the people aren't doing this, are they? Like, is this happening in synagogues and churches? And
I mean, other than the chicken thing. Not that I know of.
Unless they've outgrown it. Good for them.
And he shall carry forth the bullock without the camp, and burn him as he burned the first bullock. It is a sin offering for the congregation. When a ruler hath sinned and done something through ignorance against any of the commandments of the Lord his God, concerning things which should not be done, and is guilty, or if his sin, wherein he hath sinned, come to his knowledge, he shall bring his offering, a kid of the goats, a male without blemish, and he shall lay his hand upon the head of the goat, and kill it in the place where they kill the burnt offering before the Lord. It is a sin offering. And the priest shall take of the blood of the sin offering with his finger, and put it upon the horns of the altar of burnt offering, and shall pour out his blood at the bottom of the altar of burnt offering. And he shall burn all his fat upon the altar, as the fat of the sacrifice of peace offerings, and the priest shall make an atonement for him as concerning his sin, and it shall be forgiven him. And if any one of the common people sin through ignorance, while he doeth somewhat against what any of the commandments of the Lord, concerning things which ought not to be done, and be guilty, or if his sin which he hath sinned come to his knowledge, then he shall bring his offering, a kid of the goats, a female without blemish, for his sin which he hath sinned. And he shall lay his hand upon the head of the sin offering, and slay the sin offering in the place of the burnt offering. And the priest shall take of the blood thereof with his finger, and put it upon the horns of the altar of burnt offering, and shall pour out all the blood thereof at the bottom of the altar. And he shall take away all the fat thereof, as the fat is taken away from off the sacrifice of peace offerings. And the priest shall burn it upon the altar for a sweet savour unto the Lord. And the priest shall make an atonement for him, and it shall be forgiven him. And if he bring a lamb for a sin offering, he shall bring it a female, without blemish. And he shall lay his hand upon the head of the sin offering, and slay it, for a sin offering in the place where they kill the burnt offering. And the priest shall take of the blood of the sin offering with his finger, and put it upon the horns of the altar of burnt offering, and shall pour out all the blood thereof at the bottom of the altar. And he shall take away all the fat thereof, as the fat of the lamb is taken away from the sacrifice of the peace offerings. And the priest shall burn them upon the altar, according to the offerings made by fire unto the Lord. And the priest shall make an atonement for his sin that he hath committed, and it shall be forgiven him.
It's a lot.
I guess so. I mean, it's kind of just a disgusting ritual It sounds like magic to me. Like just, oh, you did something wrong? Well, kill something, bathe in its blood, sprinkle its blood and fat everywhere, and guess what? You didn't do it. You're fine.
It also really sounds like the priest can get away with anything.
Yeah. Guess so.
Is this going for the townspeople too?
Yeah. It went through, it even said like the king. It said the priest can do it. It said common people can do it. And a ruler. It says rulers can do it. And then it repeated the exact same things over and over and over again for each of these people. But, I mean, on one hand, it seems like a cop-out for those who have quote-unquote sinned. And then on the other hand, it seems like just a way for Aaron and his sons to not have to like butcher their own food.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, no, you bleed it and cut off all the fat and everything. You put salt on it, get it all ready, and then for us, and then we can, and then you go away. We'll burn it. And you can smell the sweet savor.
Yeah.
All right. So, what do you think about the start of Leviticus? You riveted?
Not so much.
Not so much. I was kind of hoping for more of a story, but I don't know. Maybe it'll kick in next time. I think that's enough blood and mayhem for tonight.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. Stay dumb, everybody.
Stay dumb.
Okay. It puts lotion on its skin and puts it on its skin.